Earle de Blonville has achieved some amazing feats, including being the first to circumnavigate Tasmania by sea kayak. He believes strong leadership is of the utmost importance and says this will be the greatest challenge for our future. So you're a leadership entrepreneur, but how do you relate that to someone who's working in a private company and they need someone to tap into their leadership stock?
I think one of the angles that I bring is that I'm not from the corporate background, and yet I've done a lot of corporate consulting, and yet bring in to play all of the things that I've learnt the hard way on my last journey to hell and back. I think I've been very lucky coming from a mountaineering, exploring and expedition background where I've had to make, as leader, decisions about life and death of other people. And I think that's given me a very different perspective on what leadership is in very challenging times. So my perspective is quite unlike the perspective of people who've been basically employees, even if they've had senior roles, they're still just employees. And so those who are coming from big business believe the world runs in a certain way, and when it doesn't, they really don't have a plan B. And so my perspective on leadership is totally different from the corporate world, for example, who really can go home at the end of the day and have a cup of tea, and there's always plenty of money to fix problems. When you're out on expedition, you have no backup.
The thing that's unique and remarkable about Earle in terms of what he brings to the leadership area is that he draws on his significant expedition leadership experience and his executive coaching with high-level C-suite executives. He's now bringing that together with academic research that he's doing. So it's a very unusual and unique combination in a speaker or a coach who can bring all those threads together.
The biggest challenge that big business faces now and into the future is where are they going to find leaders to step up to the plate to replace all of the baby boomers who are retiring from leadership positions. And the big problem is that the next generation of millennials or Gen Y are simply not buying the big business story. They don't buy the values, they don't trust big corporations, religion, government. They want to do things differently. And I think the difference that they represent is probably a huge leap forward.
He really has been challenged. He has faced death on numerous occasions, and it has really challenged his thinking about leadership. He's been a survivor right at the edge of human endurance, and it still leaves him questioning, you'll be very happy to know, whether any limits actually exist. Please put your hands together for our keynote speaker, Earle de Blonville.
So what can I tell you about leadership that I've learnt on my journey to hell and back? Well, one thing's for sure, leadership can't be taught. If it's being offered as a lesson, it's management rebadged at a higher price. And leadership is not about the leader. If a leader thinks it's all about them, they've missed the boat. They didn't read this chapter here that says leadership is not about the leader. It's basically about everything and everyone around you. You are the sun around which your universe circles and draws its energy and light. The sun doesn't control anything except by giving. And leadership is not about taking power and control. Anybody who thinks leadership is about power and control, once again, has missed the boat. In case if it was my boat, they'd be thanking me for that. No, it's about giving. And of course, the thing with power, have you noticed that when a leader gives you some power, they don't diminish their leadership? They are more empowered because They've got to have the power in order to give it. So in your roles as leaders of your business and leaders of people that you employ and subcontractors and people that you inspire and motivate, the more that you can give of your inspiration, the more you can give of your love and your support and your encouragement and your faith, the more you build these people up around you. And they will come to know that you are the source, you are the sun that illuminates and warms their life. And the other thing is that leadership is not a destination. It's not a certificate or an MBA or a qualification. I suggest to you that leadership is a journey. So if you see leadership as your own personal journey, and that everything you encounter along the way is part of your learning process, there's no way that you can't not learn, then that journey will take you to being a great leader. Thank you.